What is up, my friends? I hope you're having a good day. If not, then I'm hoping I can help with that, but maybe not, because today I'm talking about my sleep paralysis and the horrible sleep I had last night. Because, why not? And I kind of need to film. I haven't had like a long history of sleep paralysis. I didn't have it. If my face looks puffy and my hair looks ugly, it's because I just woke up. I wanted to tell you about my experience fresh out of the bed, so.
What did he say?
So yeah, that's why I look not so put together. So I haven't had a super long history. I haven't had like years and years of it, but it started, actually, I have. I actually documented every time I had sleep paralysis. I have a sleep paralysis album. First one was last year, April 19th, 2025. So I've been having sleep paralysis for 13 months, apparently. A lot of them were pretty short and like uneventful, but the most recent ones have like ramped up, and I don't know why. I think the most recent one being last night, this morning, because I remember it was light outside. And then I think the last time before this time was probably one of the scariest. And then the third one before this one was the one that introduced my sleep paralysis demon. So that was fun. I don't know if this is a normal sleep paralysis experience, but when I'm paralyzed, I'm always in my room. Like, I'm asleep and in my room. Like, I'm not in a dream paralyzed. I'm in my room. I can see the wall. Because my bed is back there, and it's lying this way. So I sleep this way, with my feet pointed towards you. I'm not going to show you my feet. 100% of the time that I'm paralyzed in my sleep, I'm like kind of like this, like kind of on my left, kind of on my back, and my arm is curled like this so I can see my arm in my sleep paralysis. The third last one was when my sleep paralysis demon was introduced. I didn't actually like see it. I saw it in my mind's eye, which I kind of guess is sleep paralysis. But it's weird to explain it. I don't really remember it that well. But yeah, that's basically when, and I showed you it in my art video. It looks like one of those tall, lanky, white demons that shows up in like the Sam and Colby videos. If you know what I mean, then you know. Long, slender, weird angles, just disgusting. And then the second to last one was, or the second most recent one was where my sleep paralysis demon dragged me down, like off my bed, or tried to. Like, I felt it was really, it took a really long time. It like dragged my feet off, and then I pulled it back on. Then dragged my feet off, and then pulled, and it happened like several times. And like one time I felt like I was, like my whole body was almost off the bed, but then I like rolled back. I didn't see the demon, but I could feel its presence, and I knew that it was the thing that was dragging me. So that was probably probably the scariest besides this one. This one was probably the longest I've ever had sleep paralysis. It took forever to get out of it. But even before the sleep paralysis, I had a horrible night. I slept well. I woke up pretty fine. I feel fine. Like, I've had worse sleeps, but I had terrible dreams last night. They were really long and confusing. And the last part, actually, one of the parts was, if you don't know, I'm going to college next year. How, you might ask? You look so young. I'm like, thank you. But it's like a dual enrollment thing. I'm a high school student in taking college classes, whatever. So I didn't think I had a lot of anxiety. I thought I was like super excited, and I am super excited to start next year in 3 months because summer's so short. I like didn't feel much fear going into it, but apparently I did in my dream, because I had a dream where I couldn't find any of my classes, and I was running around and I was crying, and I was trying to find my schedule because I took a picture of it on my phone, but I couldn't find my Photos app on my phone. And then when I finally found the Photos app, I couldn't find the photo, and like, it was so, there's more detail to it, but I'm not gonna tell you. Like right before the sleep paralysis part, I had a dream where all the dreams were kind of connected, but I had part of a dream. So my teacher, my AP seminar teacher, wrote a series of short stories, and in that series of short stories, the main villain is what I call the matchman, because he lights matches. I'm not gonna get into the backstory because you don't need it. But if you know, you know. So I had a dream that the matchman was there with me and some other people. They weren't even like my friends. They were just random people from, I think, my high school. I don't know. I don't remember. They were like taunting the matchman, and I think I had my camera, and I think I wanted to take a picture of him. And then he lit the match, and we like covered our eyes so like he couldn't get us and stuff like that. It was scary. And then for some reason he was like under a blanket, and I looked in and he lit the match, and I pulled the blanket down on me, so there was like a weight on my chest. And then I woke up into my sleep paralysis, which makes sense because usually sleep paralysis is caused by a lack of air. Like you can't breathe, you're on your back and you can't fully like breathe, so you feel trapped. I couldn't move, and I couldn't breathe very well. Like I could breathe, obviously, I'm still alive, but I couldn't breathe very well, and I was like, oh no, it's another sleep paralysis. And I don't really remember what happened next. I know at some point I was screaming at the top of my lungs, what it felt like. Obviously I wasn't, because somebody would have come in. But I had sleep paralysis within my sleep paralysis. Yeah, my brain is really weird. I have dreams inside of dreams, and like, ugh. When I tried to move, like my arm was curled like this, and I don't really remember how this arm was. But when I tried to move and like roll, I couldn't see that. Like I still saw myself like this, but I felt that I was rolling. Does that make sense? And like I tried to like thrash around, but I couldn't see it. I still saw this. At some point I like thrashed around and got like the blanket stuck underneath me, and then I like pulled it out. Like it felt like a real sensation, so I don't know if that was real or not. And then because I was screaming at the top of my lungs, my parents came in. I couldn't see them, and I was still stuck like this. And I felt something like tapping on my head. And I was like, what is that? So I reached up. I couldn't see it, obviously, but I felt it. And I reached up and I felt someone's hand. And I was like, oh my gosh, my parents came in to try to wake me up. And I couldn't see them, but I felt like their arms and their bodies and their hands. And I could hear their voices. They were singing gospel music. And I was singing with them to try and like, to be like a prayer to like get God to help me out of the sleep paralysis. And I prayed and prayed, and I couldn't get out. Bro, if you've ever had sleep paralysis, it's terrifying. So I don't have good vision, if you don't know. I have terrible vision. And so everything I saw in my dream was like blurry, and I saw like a little jester come out of my wall over there, and It said it had like a message for me from the matchman. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was something like, I'm gonna get you. I actually don't remember if it said that, but like that's the feeling that I got. So usually when I have sleep paralysis, I just have a terrible time, and I did last night. I didn't think I would get sleep paralysis, because usually I get sleep paralysis if I wake up multiple times during the night, but I don't remember that happening. I woke up a couple times in the morning, and then saw it was like only 8:30, and then I just went back to sleep. It was scary, and I hope you never have to experience sleep paralysis. But yeah, that was my short little recap of what horrible things happened last night. Yeah, don't get sleep paralysis, kids. You feel helpless. It's like you feel like you'll never be able to get out. And you can't breathe very well. I don't know why it started 13 months ago. Because I'd never had sleep paralysis before when I was younger. Maybe I just got old. That's that. I hope you had a good time watching this, even though it wasn't very fun. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. Love you, goodbye.